Minecraft, as you're probably aware, is one of the most popular games in the world. Anywhere you turn these days, you'll find merchandise like toys, t-shirts, posters, backpacks, you name it. And yet, if you were to try to explain Minecraft to somebody who's never heard of it, it's a bit hard to describe without making it sound kinda boring. I mean, you make tools so that you can break blocks and then restack the blocks however you want. Oh boy. Splatoon, when it released on the Wii U in 2015, had a similar effect on me. I mean, you just throw paint everywhere. Oh boy. I never gave Splatoon a fair chance, but now with the release of Splatoon 2 on the Nintendo Switch, and after hearing about all the praise that this game gets, I decided to finally take the plunge, and I gotta say, I get it now. For the uninformed, in Splatoon, you play as an Inkling. Inklings are kids who are also squids. But you're also a kid. And a squid. And as a squid kid, you and a team of kid squids face off against 4 other skid quids in an effort to cover the arena with your team's color of ink. The team who has the most ink covering the ground when the time runs out wins. Again, it probably doesn't sound all that great on paper, but with a variety of weapons that present different ways of spreading ink everywhere, there's actually quite a bit of strategy and chaos involved in each match. You have your basic machine gun style weapons, but also have slower, more explosive blasters, ink rollers, paintbrushes, and even buckets of ink that you literally just splash around. You can turn into a squid to quickly move around through your team's ink, as well as reload the ink in your weapons or even hide from enemy players. But if you aren't careful, you could also end up in the enemy's ink, which not only dramatically slows you down, it also damages you over time and leaves you quite vulnerable. Each round ends with an overhead view of the map as you await the results to find out which team won. Sometimes the matches come really close, and with those few seconds of suspense, it's anyone's guess which team will win. Other times, it's a bit more obvious. Since covering the arena with ink is your main goal in each round, taking out enemy players, while helpful, is not exactly necessary. If your team is skilled enough, you could, in theory, win a match without even once killing an enemy player. Oh, except you don't kill players in Splatoon. This is an E-rated Nintendo game after all. No, instead, when you take out an enemy player, you splat them. Which, if you think about it, that sounds a lot worse. I'm sorry to tell you this, ma'am, but your husband, he's been splatted. I mean, like, wow, he is dead. He is just everywhere. I hope you didn't plan on selling that car because he is quite literally embedded in the interior. Which brings me to something weird that I noticed. When an Inkling in Splatoon is splatted, they actually do kind of explode. Not only that, but they explode into the color of their enemy's ink. Which means you aren't covering the ground with ink. You're covering it, quite literally, with the blood of your enemies. I guess when it comes to your enemies in Splatoon, you really do wipe the floor with them. There is also a single-player mode, which is a lot of fun and offers all sorts of neat mechanics not seen in the game's multiplayer offerings. One of the more popular modes in Splatoon 2 is the new Salmon Run mode. In Salmon Run, you and 3 other players take on hordes of creatures called Salmonoids, where you must defeat boss Salmonoids to collect their golden eggs and meet your quota within the time limit. I haven't played this mode much, 1 because I've been having too much fun with Turf War, and 2 because, in one of the strangest things I've ever heard of, you can't always play it. Nintendo has decided that their approach with Salmon Run is to lock it down so that you can only play it during certain hours on certain days. This is done so that Nintendo can, well, so that players will, That's not the only weird timed aspect of this game. Regular battles, ranked battles, and league mode each have only 2 maps available at a time, with the maps rotating every 2 hours. This decision also really doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. As fun as the game is, being locked into only a couple maps for 2 hours makes it actually less tempting to stick around for longer play sessions, in my opinion. A little more variety would be nice to help shake things up. Each time you start up the game, you're greeted by a fictional TV show in the Splatoon world, where these two glamorous-looking squid ladies, Pearl and Marina, tell you what maps are currently open to play, as well as announcing whether or not Salmon Run is open. And why is it that the expression on Marina's face makes it look like she's being held against her will to host this show with Pearl? Another annoyance I have with the game is, while waiting for your next match to start, you cannot change your weapon or gear. You actually have to leave the lobby to change your equipment and then start searching for a new lobby once you're done. And boy, you better be sure you have the loadout you want, because while you're sitting there waiting for a new match to start, you cannot leave the lobby. If you realized you forgot to change a piece of equipment, or changed your mind and want to play another game mode, you have to either wait for the match to start so you can leave, or you have to completely close out of the game from the Switch home screen and start it again. Maybe I'm wrong about this, but I've tried pressing every button at multiple opportunities and could not exit the lobby without just restarting. Back to the good stuff, Splatoon actually really surprised me with the depth of its gear system. Not only do you have multiple types of weapons to choose from, but as you level up, you unlock the ability to purchase various upgraded versions of that weapon type, each with different sub-weapons and special attacks. And it's up to you to choose the right weapon loadout for you. Aside from weapons, you also have 3 other types of gear. Each player has a hat, a shirt, and shoes to choose from, which not only change your Inkling's appearance, but actually have their own abilities. Each piece of clothing starts with 1 passive ability, and as you continue using them, you'll unlock more and more of these abilities, with later pieces having up to 4. These abilities range from things like running faster, quicker respawns, loading your special attack bar more quickly, quicker super jumps, and so on. Super jumps are really cool. You open the map and select the teammate you want to jump to. After you select a teammate, you'll turn into a squid and jump to the buddy you've selected. It's a great way to get to another part of the map quickly, and it's also a great way to get yourself splatted. One aspect of Splatoon 2 that actually works well being timed is Splatfest. As a Splatfest approaches, players choose between 2 arbitrary preferences. The previous Splatfest was ketchup versus mayo, and the one that just took place was the power of flight versus invisibility. Hashtag Team Flight. Once the Splatfest date hits, the opposing sides duke it out in turf war over the course of 24 hours, and the in-game hub turns into a big ol' party. The higher you rank up by playing matches, the more prizes you earn, and of course, the winning side earns even more once the winner is determined. I really have been loving this game in the time I've had with it so far. I have yet to really dig into ranked battles, single player, or Salmon Run, all because I've just really been enjoying the game's main turf war mode. I think one of the things that really makes it easy to get hooked is that the matches are only a few minutes long. If they were drawn out, it would probably be easy for me to get bored, but the fact that victory or defeat comes quickly really helps keep you in that one more match mindset. It is a great game that you can sit and play for a couple hours, or you can simply pick it up for a couple rounds while killing time, especially since the Switch is portable. If you own a Nintendo Switch, or plan to buy one, I highly recommend giving Splatoon 2 a chance. I almost didn't, and now that I have, I am so glad that I did. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you want to see more, feel free to check out one of these other videos you see here on the screen, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button. You can also follow me by looking up The Portly Gamer on the social networks below.